Oh my God, bro.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass on, boy.
To sum up what has been a crazy week as a whole, this is the result right here, along with the fact I gotta ask myself, what the hell just happened at work today at the bowling alley?
That's a great question.
That sure as hell is a great question, JR. The look on Lorena's face says it all. Damn Coke machine was empty because they were replacing it with the new one, so therefore we couldn't get our free Coke like we normally do, meaning we brought our money for no goddamn reason. But that's not all. That's not all. I mean, there's a lot to go over in what happened today at work. I mean, well, particularly on the field trip for today's bowling alley. Now, first of all, to get the most important stuff out of the way just for shits and giggles. See what happens when we don't have to deal with two idiot dumbasses when, you know, on a field trip, even if they both come in for the day. Much happier times. It's drama free. You know, I'm not gonna name names or get into it, but the people who deal with these same dumbasses daily on the daily, you know who they are. So therefore, since those two had to stay, they chose to stay back. I mean, we ended up having a hell of a good time. There was a lot of excitement, no drama, no nothing. I mean, no dumbass shenanigans either. I mean, let me explain what happened. We ended up having a game of bowling that was exciting as fuck. It was exciting as fuck. And, I don't give a shit if I sucked today. I mean, Marco and I sucked today. Marco and I both sucked today, but that's the least of my problems today. It was a dead heat between Isaiah Johnson, Johnny Ginsley, and Kyle Bayer, who's actually related to one of my friends in Ridgeville, Megan Bayer, and her, I think it's her cousin Nathan Bayer, who used to date my best friend Brindley Kerr before Noah Grzinski, and that current handsome son of a bitch Carson Izzy, however the fuck you say his last name, the one who I finally got to meet at the Ridgeville Ridgeville Girls Junior Varsity basketball game where my cousin Jamila Scott was playing. If you want to go check that video out, that TV broadcast on YouTube video, link in the description. So therefore, it totally reminded me of the 1992 Hooters 500 that I was telling, one of my staff, Doug, about. I mean, I wasn't born for that, but I'm old enough to remember because it gets talked about a lot, even in today's NASCAR, where they keep talking about old ass memories, older seasons that were legendary, like 1992, the last of Richard Petty and the first of Jeff Gordon. Not that whole season was the last of Richard Petty, as everybody knows, but we didn't see the first of Jeff Gordon until that season finale when Atlanta was the season finale for what I grew up being the Napa 500, then later Bass Pro Shops MBNA 500, because there was two Bass Pro MBNA 500, spring and fall, but that's not the topic of today's video. So it was between Isaiah, AJ, and Kyle. It was like three people had a shot at victory, kind of like how three people had a realistic shot for the championship at the Hooters 500, where three other drivers had a mathematical shot in case the top three who actually had a realistic shot ended up being fucked over. Harry Gant, Mark Martin, Kyle Petty. So therefore, except this time ours did not have it. It was like the bowling version of that particular legendary NASCAR race. And let me tell you, those three were neck and neck in the first half. I mean, Isaiah kept busting him up like Adam Petty, while Kyle and AJ fell off a cliff in the middle. And Marco and I were stinking it up like Terry Labonte for most of the game. And then we started to warm up and heat up towards the end, but in the second half, but we started coming alive at the wrong time. If we would have done that a lot sooner, then we would have had a mathematical shot at challenging those three for the win. I mean, man, it was so exciting. There was a lot of screaming and hollering going on. So much excitement. Not to mention that our friends at the Learning Farm never showed up, so we had that whole section all to ourselves. I mean, doesn't get any better than that. I mean, not to mention there was a lot of pimping going on between, Monica and Joey, who it's funny how I met Joey like 2 seasons ago. Because you remember when I started in the beginning at Triad, even though my dad wanted ViaQuest in the beginning more than any other, but they had no transportation at the time. So I go to the bathroom that used to be the staff bathroom in EOVC when it was all Murray Ridge, and my dumbass has at the time never used that bathroom because it was only for staff, but it was all Murray building in general was all Murray Ridge pre-pandemic. I didn't know there was a lock, and so when Joey went to go to the bathroom, thinking nobody was in there, he walked in on my dumb ass. So that's how I met him. And so ever since this Monica, lady started, all of a sudden, her and Joey fell in love, and so therefore I like to call them husband and wife just to mess with them because La Vida, as everybody knows my OG real life friends since 2015, 16, and 16, 17, and my OG YouTube subscribers and fans from back in the day, as you all know, La Vida Lab Rats with Kelly Berglund started that shit for me. Because, we were supposed to do multiple seasons of that fanfic, Mark Oliveira's Brie Davenport, Live and La Vida Lab Rats with Mark and Friends love story, where we were supposed to do multiple seasons, 2016, 17, 17, 18, 18, 19, so on and so on, until, we decided we were going to call it quits, and, we were going to do a 4-part series finale where Brie and I got married, and it became Mr. and Mrs. Oliveras, and unfortunately, that never happened, because as you guys seen by several of my YouTube videos, doing reactions of episodes of every one of my shows, which I'm actually going to get to this week, and I'm going to talk about at the very end, because I have another announcement that comes after in the second half of this video. I moved on to other shows in 2017 to 18, and has been that way since then, even though I don't really watch them much in real time no more, and a lot of them have dropped like flies since then, but Lab Rats will always be number one right here in my heart. Right here in my heart. Wherever the fuck the heart is. I think right here, because we usually do Bobby Labonte right here to have, if I'm fucking confused. No, this is where the heart is. This is because I used to do Bobby Labonte, but during that time, I used to hit myself in the chest here, but until my mom said, if you're going to do that, which I don't want you to do that, but if you're going to do that, do it right here, because your heart stand, you could fuck it up and, damage it, you could die. I mean, she didn't say it like that, but that's how she meant it. But anyway, yeah, so, yeah, yeah, right here in my heart, living La Vida, Lab Rats, and Kelly Berglund always be my number one, even if I'm obsessed with somebody else in this modern TV life. But yeah, so therefore, La Vida, because, Mr. and Mrs. Olivares, how me and my friends in that era when we were younger, when I was in my early 20s, and my current friends who I've known for a long time before the modern ones I started to meet in 18, 19, 19, 20, 20, 21, and so on, like the Bakers, Farragos, Allisons, and Jarretts. We used to tease each other about our friends of the opposite genders, about how, they were, because, we were like best friends with them, or we had a crush on them, where even if they already had a boyfriend or a girlfriend, and, or one of my friends came up with the crazy idea for my Lab Rats fanfics where it was either A, we go to space like in the real show in season 1, at the end of season 1, or even in season 4, the last season, or B, someone said that I should make them boyfriend and girlfriend with someone that they know in real life, and Davis 1121, I used to tease him about, Braxton Jarrett's cousin, Ryan Clapham, because of the fact that, Davis 1121, who lives in between Braxton and I, one time said that, one of Ryan is also one of Dalen Baker's friends, and Davis 1121 said that, one of Dalen's friends, which is Braxton's Jared's cousin, was really, really pretty, and then all of a sudden he followed it up by telling me I should make them boyfriend and girlfriend in my Lab Rats fanfic, which I did, but then it turned into an ongoing gig of, me and my friends teasing each other about our friends of the opposite gender in the neighborhood, and that's what all started the whole damn thing. So that's why I like to mess with my real life friends about their relationships. I don't do it to be, we used to do it to each other to be dicks to each other because we were younger and we were more like, I was still kind of in that uptight phase of my life. I was starting to become more relaxed, but that hadn't fully processed yet because you all know I was still watching NASCAR full time back then, but yeah. So I was still kind of uptight, but not as uptight as I was as a kid and a teen on Lenore and Sandhurst. I mean, Because we were, yeah, I was dicks to my current friends too, but it never went as far as, having a major incident that caused, drama. Because basically, since I moved to Sandy Ridge, it's been really, free of, major incident, and also has been drama free. Considering, whenever there's a minor incident, we give each other space to, like, distance ourselves to gather our thoughts and calm down for, like, minimum of a day or two, or a week. And then after a while, we come together and we talk it out like real men and women and boys and girls. Unlike Sandhurst, where you thought that would be easy after we built up a legacy with our families. With me and my family built up a legacy in our whole family tree for years, decades, and generations. You would think that would be easy, but it turns out it wasn't, which I'm not going to get into in the interwebs ever. I want to think positive of Sandhurst when I talk about it on the interwebs, because we're going there on July 9th to do that docu-series that I can't wait to bring you guys a week or two after I record it. But, I mean, yeah, so therefore, yeah, that's what started it all. Like, I tease my real life friends these days, even Brindley, Kurt, and Carson, how they're husband and wife, or Joey and Monica at ViaQuest, or even Marcy and Baki, they're not really married. It's just like, I like to be funny by saying they're husband and wife, because, La Vida Loud, with Kelly Berglund started the whole thing, and how me, the younger, early 20s version of me, and the littler version of my current friends, like, Braxton and David Sloan 21 and them, and Cole Allison, we used to tease each other about our friends, us, them being our boyfriends or our girlfriends, even though we didn't like them like that, especially if they already had a boyfriend or girlfriend of their own that we didn't really know of, that we didn't know who they were or barely knew at all. So, yeah, but, yeah, anyway, let's get to the point. I kept, doing, I sound like a broken record repeating that shit 3-4 times over. But anyway, so therefore I was, hyping Monica up, and then I remember me and Shanita, and her when we were telling Monica to shake it, and I was jumping in there doing, and I started singing Ricky Martin, "Shake Your Bonbon." I started singing the whole beginning of the song, and even Shanita and Monica were shaking it to me, singing the 1999 Ricky Martin song from Ricky Martin, a self-titled album. 1999, titled Ricky Martin. That's what I'm trying to call. That also was the birth of Livin' La Vida Loca, and she's all I ever had. And fun fact, Livin' La Vida Loca and Shake Your Bonbon were both written by Robbie Draco, Rosa, and Desmond Child, which the latter, Shake Your Bonbon, was co-written with Rosa and Child by George Norija. So it was a fun day. I mean, I knew I wasn't gonna win, so Kyle and AJ needed a miracle to pass Isaiah for the win, and I think AJ almost got it. AJ almost got it. Kyle came close, but out of all people, Isaiah got another strike on the last turn, which means he got an extra turn, and he went up to 132. And the only exciting phrase to the finish on the last frame, the last turn, was me and Marco. We were fighting for 4th place points, and I think I needed 5 points or better to get it. I got 4, and I needed at least 4 of them in the first one, and then I said if I knock out at least 1 or better, then I get 4th place points, which is better than last place. Unfortunately for Marco, considering, he's been pretty good in the past, he came in as Anthony Anderson would say, to tell the truth, even though we don't watch it no more. That shit's still even on the air, because a lot of ABC game shows that we used to watch in 2019 and 2021 went off the air. I know Match Game went off, but, it was a conversation in a video saving for another day. But Marco got butt naked last, unfortunately. When we got back to the shop, he came up to Isaiah and just let him know, just warned him like Ward Burton. Revenge was all but promised. Kind of reminds me of Jimmy Spencer in the 2002 Food City 500 when he was trying to seek his first ever Winston Cup win in nearly 8 years since the year I was born. Both at restrictor plate tracks. Considering that would have been his 3rd career win overall if Kurt Busch never moved him out of the way with the bump and run on lap 445 and going into turn 1 and 2. So that's what it kind of reminded me of. We'll just have to wait and see what happens next Thursday when we do the next bowling game, the day before our season 2 finale, Winter Wonderland 2-day special. Anyway, so yeah, that was today. I mean, the work week in general has been fucking crazy as fuck. And so I'm hoping we can end this shit on a high goddamn note tomorrow. So anyway, but the second half of the video is the most important before I reveal the TV schedule for this weekend. What's this I hear rumored off camera about real life test drive 5 on bikes to go with the Need for Speed at real life on bikes? Yes, you heard and saw correct. I figured, I decided to add a little bit of more spice to my upcoming, lineup of spicer content for season 3 of Fun in the Sun, and even a little bit of season 2 of Spring is in the Air. Not only will be doing a real life Need for Speed on Bike series and continue the real life NBA Jam and the Tim Duncan Can I Recreate and the Garra Accion Isugor, we're going to be doing real life Test Drive 5. I'm about to figure out, it's going to be harder to figure out, so it may take the whole summer to figure it out. So you might see Need for Speed first before you see Test Drive. You might see Need for Speed this summer when we do season 3 of Fun in the Sun. And when we get to season 4 of Fun in the Sun, which is almost a full 2 years away, then maybe we'll consider doing Test Drive. And, maybe by season 5 of Fun in the Sun, I'll try to do both. Or as early as season 4 of Fun in the Sun, we'll try to do both. But it's something I learned in planning, Giganda series, we've never done before, that other people can afford to do, that we haven't been able to afford to do yet. Keyword yet, but it just looks so fun and it's very inspiring that you just want to try it yourself. Talking about it is one thing, actually doing it and setting it up is another thing. So this is going to take a while to set up. The same way it's going to take a while to set up Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune, game night episodes, as well as the whole NASCAR Thunder 04 Richard Petty Fantasy Cup, as well as hopefully one day this is going to be totally advanced down the line. When equipment finally starts improving all the way. NASCAR and San Antonio Spurs, season, his hypothetical season, history-changing fan fiction, which is why I started a Wattpad account. So that Test Drive 5 real life on bikes is not out of the question. I mean, even if we don't talk about it all spring and summer of this year, it's never going to be out of the question. There may be promos here and there, but it's going to take a while before we can figure out how we're going to do this, whether we're going to recreate the championship cups, the circuits, or recreate the arcade checkpoint point-to-point races. That's going to be the most difficult part. How, that was my favorite part of Test Drive 5 as a 6-year-old child on Lenore in 2000, pre-Mexico, and as a teen during my farewell season in Lenore House in Michigan, and my farewell tour at that toxic hellhole we call Burgess School, which was supposed to be a school for people with autism, but it sure as hell didn't feel like it at all whatsoever. Most of the time I was there, except for the years I was in a more, calm and peaceful, quiet, drama-free building called the Annex from 2005-06 to 07-08, because 08-09, it was a dark time in my life, and it started to go down the shitter from there. So, therefore, yeah, but the 2009-2010 wasn't any better, but it just marked a lot of good, stuff that later benefited me once I came back to Ohio, starting the Sandhurst House in Brook Park, which later evolved into here in the Sandy Ridge House in North Ridgeville. So, therefore, yeah, but that 2009-2010 season was something we can look back on, even for all the bad reasons, Some of the good reasons, we got re-addicted to Test Drive 5, and I've been starting to watch people's Test Drive 5 videos again that was already up, and I see Kamikaze Games is doing a second Test Drive 5 LP, so that's kind of what inspired me to do Test Drive 5 on the bikes in real life. So therefore, Kamikaze Games can try it twice, once at the early days of his channel, now during his current, popularity of his channel in the modern era. I figured, fuck it, why not? Let's try something how he hasn't done it and nobody's done it before, and how nobody's done Need for Speed before, considering in cars you can actually kill someone or yourself if you try it. So the safest way to do Need for Speed and Test Drive, and hopefully one day Gran Turismo is on bicycles. So therefore I look forward to bringing you guys that content. Now, as for the shows, tomorrow we're gonna probably take the first step. We're going to, go support our buddy Isaiah C. Morgan on Abbott Elementary as Terrence in what will be the Matt Kenseth installment. Then maybe Saturday, we'll, mix in some shows. We'll throw some in. I mean, we'll probably throw 2 or 3 of them in or something. Maybe 3 of them at max, 2 at minimum, but I'll see how I'm feeling and what my sleep schedule says this weekend. But until next time, this is Mark Oliveira signing off. I mean, I hope I can, sneak in one last cooking video with my grandmom and grandmother, doing the pesto at the altar of us at the same time. But if I'm gonna do it, I better do it now because I'm running out of time. And I think it's not looking likely that my grandfather and I will do our hanging pictures video because he's set to have surgery the day after David A. Arnold, what would have been his Bobby Hamilton 55th birthday. So that's gonna have to be pushed back to season 3 of Adventures in Autumn, or a little season 3 of Winter Wonderland next year. Which spring is in the year, season 2 coming up. When I was snoozing on the van this morning, I overheard our one of our honchos that below Tamika, Eddie, and Asia about getting more new basketballs, practice drills outside, to prepare ourselves, for each and every ViaQuest basketball game. She thought we just did it, only during the cold weather months, only did it like at the tail end of a calendar year. But no, we do it all year round, every 2 or 3 months. So this will make good practice, and this could make some good YouTube content if you're lucky, if I can catch the drills on tape. So therefore, and I'm hoping, whenever the next ViaQuest basketball game is, I can catch that I do another TV broadcast style YouTube video for all of you, and hopefully, it'd be a 10 more high school basketball games and even some more middle school ones down the line, and, return to the football games in Ridgeville. So that way, I can bring you TV broadcast style YouTube videos in the form of football games. And as much as I hate to, even as I hate to do it, even though I have to bite the bullet and use the NFL on Fox team, even though I hate the NFL with the passion as the most overhyped and overrated sport in America. So have a good night tonight and a better day tomorrow. Life will give you a lot of lows, but when you hit a high, enjoy it. It ain't for the weak. Goddamn, pace yourself, bring your ass, be you. You have to try harder to do less. You can't deport a dream. Sometimes the worst things in life lead to the best things. Always bet on the side of love. You gotta check yourself before you wreck yourself. Sometimes you just gotta be present. You never fail until you stop trying. It never pays to worry too much about things. It's never too late to turn the day around. Another day on time, another day on time, another day to shine. Sometimes you just gotta flock yourself, trust your instincts, stand up for yourself, not back down to anyone. All for one, one for all. She love act different. You gotta bounce. So take care, everyone. There was another quote, but I don't fucking remember it right now. So I'll look back on one of the more recent videos so I can remember. But for now, I gotta get the fuck out of here. So take care, everyone. Good night, and I will see you when we finally start catching up on all the shows to finish the season before season 3 of Fun in the Sun gets here. Now, whether or not I watch the UAW Daimler Chrysler 400 at Vegas this Sunday, that's up in the air because, I think my cousin Chase is coming over again with, his mom and dad, his grandfather, which is my grandfather's brother, my Uncle Jose. So if they're coming over, I'm just going to say fuck that race and, just, hang out with them. I don't think I'll be doing a YouTube video that day. But anyway, to close this video out, reminder, season 2 finale of Winter Wonderland a week from tomorrow and the day after, March 10th and the 11th, which will be scheduled for a March 12th upload. So see you later, everyone.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, now I remember now. Just when you think things will never be okay again, here comes a miracle that proves you way wrong. God, I'm an idiot. The things we tend to forget. Okay, now I can say goodbye. See you later, everyone.